We make way for the great Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer, Turner Sports NBA analyst. Man, crazy times here, Reg. How are you?
I'm doing great. Unprecedented times. These are obviously in our lifetime. We've never seen anything like this. You know, sports used to be the great escape of everyday life, going to the movies, shows in Broadway, and, all taken away. So I hope this puts things in perspective of the important things in life. And, now, to me, family time takes even more importance because, you're being asked to, hunker down and stay at home. So, we get caught up on, I got to be at my next gig and, I got to get, to work and I got to do this. It's time to slow down and appreciate the things that have always been in front of you. And that's, family time and your loved ones and friends. And I think we're kind of getting back to that a little bit, Theodore.
What happens, though, let's say in 8 weeks or whenever it is, when the NBA comes back, is the regular season over?
I don't think it's over because I believe they will play anywhere between 5 to 10 games for players to get rhythm. But to me, there's many more questions, even before that. Like what's going to happen with the draft, right? So that gets pushed back. Let's say we start mid-June to late June, and you have 5 to 10 games, and then you go straight into the playoffs. We're looking at the end of July, the beginning of August for around the NBA Finals. So then you have the draft right after that. Do you have a modified version of Summer League play and free agency? What about the start of next season? What are the dates on that? Does that start end of October and November like it normally does, or does that get pushed to December? Bigger question, Theodore. What happens of the 16 teams, let's say we do play, and a player tests positive of COVID-19, let's say, end of June, going into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Do we start this process all over again?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think that they're trying to separate as much as they can so, that they don't have that come up. That's where people are like, well, we should be back to normal in 2 weeks. I go, no, maybe 2 months. No. Maybe 2 months, and even it might be later than that. And I told the Danettes, I have a friend who's in the CIA, and he said just in the tri-state area, they think that we'll be back to normal maybe in June, and that's coming from somebody in the CIA. Anybody's guess right now, but where we are with sports, with this, delaying baseball, the NBA, NHL, all the golf stuff. The draft stuff, there's a lot of things that are in flux right now.
I will certainly say this, because let's say we do start mid-June to late June. We are certainly not going to put fans at risk. I really do believe that. So I think if they do come back and play games, they will be in empty arenas, which to me will be difficult. I think it'll be fine for the players, but I'm sure the fans – it's going to hurt the fans because obviously they want to see the games, but you can't put fans in harm's way, obviously. You don't want anyone who is still dealing with these type of issues wherever they are to be affected by this. But there's some benefits to some teams. For instance, Portland. They could get Yusef Nurkic and Zach Collins back, 2 starters. Right now, they're 3.5 back of Memphis. Now you get 2 starters back. Again, you're only playing 5 to 10 regular season games. Is that enough time to catch Memphis for that 8th spot? What about the Philadelphia 76ers? Last time we checked, Ben Simmons, Embiid were hurt. Yeah. Now they both come back, and they're pretty much healed. They were on a down slope, but now you get your 2 best players back and probably healthy. And a long shot here, Brooklyn. Does Kevin Durant come back?
Oh, boy.
There's a possibility, right?
Yes, there is.
There's a possibility he would come back and play for the playoffs. If you're giving him till mid-June to end of June to come back and play, that's another month and a half, 2 months? I could see him possibly coming back. And right now, if the playoffs were to begin, they would face Toronto in the first round.
What did you make of Spencer Dinwiddie, speaking of the Nets? He proposed a 28-team tournament to replace, like NCAA style, to replace the rest of the season. When you come, now I don't like 28 teams, but if let's say we did 16 teams and you did round robin, have 4 number one seed, however you want to do it, but you could create something that was unique just for this year alone.
For the college game?
No, for the NBA.
Look, we need to take a step back and pause.
Okay.
Because there's real issues going on. I know people are having sports withdrawal, and I get it, and I understand it because I'm one of them. But these are real issues, and until we understand what we are really dealing with in the transmission and how easy it can be transmitted, I think we need to pause on what could go down, what should go down. We need to take a step back and breathe a little bit first before we start, let's do this, let's do that. There's real everyday people that are being affected by this, and I think we just need to pause.
Well, you think it's insensitive to try to figure out what the NBA is going to be like in June?
I'm really questioning if that's really going to happen, because the one scenario I'll keep thinking about is what if someone, slowly but surely, Christian Wood just tested positive, right? The big man from Detroit. What if in a month, in May 15th, another player tests positive? So that slows it down again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what if someone, when we start back up in mid-June, late June, tests positive?
Do you think we have an NBA champion this year?
I really hope we do, but
I think you think no.
I think no, because I just don't see how, if worst case scenario happens, if players continue to test positive, you're continuing to delay this. And I hope we get, obviously testing, but we get better knowledge of what we're dealing with. I hope we play. Again, I'm having withdrawals like the rest of you guys, but
did you backtrack in your mind, Reg, did you come in contact with Rudy Gobert?
I didn't. I had one Utah game, but it was like in, I believe, in December.
Okay. And I was curious that everybody in their minds, whoever came in contact with Utah and Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are probably going, wait a minute.
But again, how about this? If he never would have got tested, I think they would have continued to play games.
Yes, I do too. He's the inadvertent hero.
He saved a lot of people. Officials, fans. I mean, this was a trickle-down effect. Thank God he got tested. I know he's getting a lot of blowback for the whole, touching the mics and joking around thing, but he saved a lot of people. He really did.
Yeah, that's why I call him the inadvertent hero, because he didn't know what he was doing at the time. But if he doesn't test positive, I'm curious if Donovan Mitchell gets tested or Christian Wood with the Pistons, who is tested positive,
right,
and we continue to play games, you would have continued to have tournament games being played. And I don't know, how widespread this would have been, or even more widespread than it is right now, because we still don't know. We don't have accurate numbers.
And Theodore, the players would have continued to somewhat interact with fans. I know, there was, an initiative going out that, obviously no, hand touching and limiting autographs. But basketball players, professional, college, high school, because high school is just as big as college now, as much, as they follow AAU and BR hoops and all that. Basketball fans are so recognizable. People come up and they want to take pictures. They want to, hug. That's transmission.
Is this the end of the high five?
Yes, it should be. This should be the end of handshaking.
And also free throws. After you make or miss, then there's no dap.
Yeah, yes. And people don't understand I can only speak for basketball because I played it for 18 years professionally, the close proximity you are in timeouts, you're discussing intimate play in the ear of your teammate. Hey, I'm going to do the back screen here. You're always in close proximity of your teammates. Truthfully, I'm surprised more NBA players have not tested positive because in the locker rooms, in the showers, on the training table, on the buses, in the airplanes, in film sessions, you're on top of one another all the time. So I'm surprised it hasn't been more NBA players, really.
Hey, I just saw this. Kevin Durant, business partner, Rich Kleiman, he was on with Golick and Wingo this morning and talked about the chance of Durant playing in June or July. Quote, not very realistic. Honestly, not very realistic from my standpoint and not even spoken about. So if it extends into June or July, then probably not something that Durant would be involved in. So I just saw that.
But we also didn't think that he was going to play for Golden State in the finals as well.
Yeah, but I don't want him coming back this year. I
don't want him coming back.
No.
I didn't say he would come back. I'm saying they could benefit from a Kevin Durant if he decided. Look, say he wanted to come back and play one game of that series.
Yeah.
Say it was 3-3, and he wanted to play in Game 7.
No, I don't want him back.
I don't want him back either,
no.
but he's a baller and he's a competitor.
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I was just telling you, I just wouldn't be surprised.
I got something for you. Paulie has an idea that we think we could still have some basketball. We do horse, so it's by remote. Like you take a shot, and then all of a sudden Damian Lillard tries to match that shot. And then LeBron tries to match that shot. Then Westbrook does. And then Luka does it. So you could do it from your backyard. We could play horse by remote. What do you think?
Okay, question on this.
Okay.
Say I take a 35-footer and make it.
Yeah.
And Damian Lillard is up next. Is this in live time? Are we FaceTiming so it's real time? What's to say he's not cut and editing it until he makes it?
No, it's the honor system.
Hold on. You're asking NBA players to be the honor system. Are you kidding me?
Paulie, what a stupid idea.
Oh.
No, this is real time. I get it. But you're asking us to really?
Okay, how about this?
I'm going to shoot until I make it.
Reg, how about I get 5 guys remotely in real time, so you take your shot, and then it'll be Lillard takes his shot, Paul George takes it.
Right. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Okay.
But if you're asking me I can cut, paste, and edit and take my time, I'm going to win this tournament.
And you would think Paulie would know that because he's not very trusting that, that he. But if we did it in real time and we did 5 guys each day, and then you moved on, the winner moves on to the next day, and maybe we do some kind of grand prize or something. I don't know, but we're just thinking outside the box here. Right?
We need sports back. We need something back.
Yes, we do. All right.
We do.
But it would be fun, though, if I got 5 guys on one day and then 5 guys the next day. And, all of a sudden, we get down to Alan Crabb taking shots, too. And
real time, though, Theodore.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Paulie, real time.
Hey, we just heard from Mark Cuban. What did Cuban say, Paulie?
I posted that this weekend, and Cuban hit like. He said he thought it was cool.
Okay, there you go.
He's very trusting, so am I.
That's all we need. Shark Tank money, man. That's what we get.
Oh, you think... So he would back us, short you. I like it, okay, but it's got to be real time. Don't trust these NBA players. Do not trust us.
All right. Hey, good to talk to you. Not sure when we'll talk again, but thanks for joining us today, Reg.
I appreciate it. Everyone be safe. Danettes, Theodore, hug your loved ones, and it's good to spend, obviously, quality family time. That's most important, but stay safe, please, for your family.
It's Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer.